Hello, everyone. So I'm starting a new channel, Pixels and Packets. And why am I doing this? Well, I've been doing this for 41 years, starting in September. In my entire life, I have spent, um, since 18 years old, been doing IT. And a couple of years before that, I actually started doing photography. And I have proceeded through my life doing both after all those years. And before I started the photography channel, I never really passed any significant amount of that information on. Now, I did train people at the railroad on how to do their jobs, but not at the same level as I have achieved over the years. So I thought this would be a good place to start doing that as I'm on the edge of retirement. You know, I have done both, and neither one has actually ever won out as a sole work or passion. I've loved both IT and photography. You know, of course, in the early days, I shot film. You know, Canon M6. Here's a TLR, medium format film camera, Yashica. And then I moved to my first pro level digital camera. This is Canon 10D. It replaced the original Canon 6D, or I'm sorry, D6. One of the first digital cameras Canon made was a D3, and then they made a D6, and then they flopped the numbering. Probably because Nikon had the same numbering scheme at the time. This optional battery grip, which looking back, that was extraordinarily advanced for the time and very well thought out. This particular camera, I believe, use compact flash cards. Only had one slot. And those cards were big. And when this camera came out, I had a Toshiba Pocket PC, going to IT and crossover, and it had a compact flash card slot. And that was the external storage use at the time. And if somebody tells you gear doesn't matter, well, it matters a lot. Now, cameras tend to outlive iterations of computers. The problem becomes this camera has no USB slots, no SD card slots. It's a compact flash. Now, you can get compact flash card readers, but you used to be able to get them built into the computer. Well, you don't see that anymore. And you don't see compact flash cards for sale unless they're very expensive and very small. So anyway, the point of this channel is to bring the breadth and depth of what I have learned over the 40 plus years. And I'm just going to share it. And it's going to be a broad range of topics. Most of the photography that's pure photography information I'm still going to be putting on my photography channel. And there's a link in the description of that channel. For the more general cross-topic stuff, I'm going to put it here. The opinion stuff, I'm definitely going to put here. Particularly things like AI and how that impacts photography and IT. So, welcome to the channel. I hope you subscribe and like the content. The content here is definitely going to be varied. I started off actually when I was 17 years old. I took a vocational education class called data processing. Had a teacher who had previously worked for the Navy, and he taught a 3-hour block class, in IT. The initial focus of the class was basic programming. I finished all the coursework for that class in my first quarter, not semester, quarter. And I went from basic programming, and he had a brand new program called Lotus 1-2-3. I learned that in the following quarter, all the way up through learning how to macro program inside Lotus 1-2-3. And that is kind of when my first IT job appeared. And that was a program for the field office for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Doniphan, Missouri. And I wrote code to display and organize livestock prices. So that's where my IT background started. A couple of years before that, my dad worked for a medical device manufacturing company that made thermal scanners, and they used a Polaroid camera to take pictures of thermal film that would show hotspots. And the device was supposed to show soft tissue injuries. That never got off the ground. My dad was laid off, but he still had the camera. And I picked up the camera and started taking Polaroid shots. And eventually picked up a Pentax K1000 when I was like 19. So anyway, that's where I got started. And we will continue this next week. This will be a weekly video. And like I said, sometimes this is going to be opinion based on life experience and human interactions and how I move forward through my career. And for context today, I am a senior systems engineer for Cordis.Corp. And we manufacture cardiac therapeutic devices. So that's where I'm at. Thanks, and have a great week, and hope I see you again next week.